everyone. Sorry about being late. I started this a couple minutes ago and then I realized, oh, I forgot to hit the button the second time. And so here we are. I'm Regina and you are you. And welcome to Conversations with Regina. I'm just going to start here. God, life is good today. I'm so glad you're all here. We got 5 of us here now, and so it's still early on. Take care of the business aspects of it all. You know, you're watching Conversations with Regina, and it'd be great if you would like and subscribe and click the bell to get notified. Has everybody been seeing these come up on Facebook and getting their notifications? If you could leave me a little note in the chat room's fine. Because Sarah was just wrote me a little bit ago and she didn't get her notification. So I don't know. I got a few comments, Holly saw it online on Facebook. So I know she did. You don't have to write anything, Holly. So yeah, anyway, I guess is YouTube sending out notifications because I'm creating it in StreamYard and then ship it to YouTube. Anyway, technical. Like, subscribe, be notified. And we're our first show since I started paying for StreamYard. It worked well, and there'll be some new features. And it's really been kind of fun. What else? Oh, this is all brought to you by Ray's Roast Coffee. And, I'm a coffee roaster. I've got really superb coffees. If you want to check it out, if you haven't ever already seen it, check out a couple weeks ago when we actually talked about my business for a whole show with a tour of the importer's coffee facility. And I get all my coffees from Bodhi Leaf Coffee, and they do a wonderful job picking out coffees for me. Between me and Tim, we do great. These are some of the better coffees in Washington State here, which is a coffee capital of so-called coffee capital. I mean, everybody wants to stake their claim to being the coffee central of the United States. But I like mine. I think I hold up well against all the others. I got to get my phone to quit making noise here. Probably should just shut it off. Oh, no, I might use it later. Anyway, so we got that all said and done. We're getting a ton of comments going here. And oh, my gosh. And so, what's coming up? Beyond Trans with Marty Pants, I think, is DJ Alexia this weekend. Check it out, Sundays at 5. And I'm not sure if anybody else has got anything going. Oh, I need to take a minute to just do quick deep breathing. If anybody would like to join me, I'm just so excited. Excited? I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm wondering about this topic today because, in doing a little background check and looking up definitions and whatnot, I have misused terms, and so we're kind of twisting terminal uniqueness away from alcoholism into just my life. And you know, of course, I'm an alcoholic, and so it does refer to me in a lot of respects. But you know, so it's interesting. It's interesting. I hope that I can like get the things out that I'm trying to talk about, and it makes sense to others. Anyway, I'm going to do a couple of deep breaths, and then I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat room that's here now. And so Casey's talking about Chloe doing live on Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern. And those are gaming lives, and she showcases LGBTQ games. And hi, Teresa. Good to see you here today. And I think oh, Simone, hi, how are you doing? Good to see you as well. Now, see, there's somebody that would say, well, Portland's a coffee capital. But, and then Lou is here. Good to see you today, Lou. It was nice talking with you yesterday. I wish I would have had more time to talk. So anyway, we're getting it all built up, and oh, Pete's, that's cool. That was a good coffee, or it was back in the day, I believe. And I used to hear, I think it was them that, you know, they would brew up a pot of coffee, and after like 20 minutes, they would dump the rest out. I always thought that was cool. And Chanteuse for the group on Friday at 4. Join the group. I know which group you're talking about. That's your Facebook group, right? Your messenger group? So anyway, now that all the public service announcements are done, I think, anyway. So let's jump into this. Terminal uniqueness is a phrase that really originated in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I've adapted it to us here, because you know what terminal uniqueness refers to is the fact that we can't fit into a group, and we think of ourselves and as being different, as being so much more unique than anyone else, that we can't possibly get recovery. And so what happens is we start not being part of, and so it makes recovering more difficult. So in a bigger context, say our trans community, and oh my God, I'm not feeling like I'm trans enough, or something along those lines, and the wall starts going up around me. And so, you know, if I don't stop that kind of thinking, I can end up completely isolated, living in a world where I'm totally alone. And, Oh, and I'm going to jump in here, Lou. You are absolutely right. We're all unique, but we're taking that uniqueness to a point of being problematic. Where we don't fit in, where take everybody's skin off, just like take everybody's skin off and everybody's flesh away and everybody's bones away. And what do you got left? You got soul. And how do you tell the difference? We're each a unique personality, true, but we are much the same. Our looks are the same. We can't be, we're all the same. We're all part of that God consciousness. We're all part of something, and everything is good. And so, well, give me a chance to get to where I'm going here, you guys. I'll get back to that question, Christy. Let's get back to there. Ask me when I'm done talking, because I do want to kind of get through this without. Oops, I don't know what you're ouching about. While I'm on a roll. So anyway, I'm going to hide the comments so I don't talk or there. So anyway, so I'm not watching them. What I'm trying to get to here is othering ourselves. Like everybody others us. Those people. It's us against them. There's like less than 2 million of us in this country, and what we need to do is, instead of building those walls up, we need to be tearing those walls down. Because people around us are others, other human beings, and they can save our lives. It's like we've got Teresa and Lulu and Holly here, and in my community, we're all the same, and I worry about some of the others. Like I do a support group meeting that I started here recently, and I said to like be part of the community, and they're like, oh no, I'd rather drive 2 hours and go to Tri-Cities, or an hour and drive to Tri-Cities to go to an LGBT owned business rather than go to one across the street from where I'm standing. And it just seems to me that if you know the people, don't get me wrong, support LGBTQ businesses. But support your community too, where you live. It's important. We're part of the world. And if we're trying to blend in and be part of a community, we got to quit othering ourselves. And when it's not us and them, it's all of us. And that's kind of the point that I was trying to get to was, well, yeah, we have our this community, this trans community, and now we have others who are part of it, and because they choose to be allies, and so can we build on that? And some of us don't get out in the communities much, and there's theater, there's different things to do. Look at Louise and all the things that she does, and I do quite a bit in this community, and we're human beings, and we need people sometimes, and to hold people back, um, and because they're them as opposed to one of us, just doesn't seem to me to be a good way of. It's kind of like that terminally uniqueness that I was talking about. Is I'm so special that I couldn't possibly do that. Those rules don't apply to me because, oh my God, I'm so different. Let's look at the commonalities between each of us. We are all risk takers. We're wonderful human beings who take risks. Some of us transitioned early because they couldn't not do it. And some of us transitioned later and because we couldn't not do it. And so that's just the way it is. It's a humongous risk. But the alternative was to live in misery. And trust me, I know about that. But I'm not willing to give up being out in society, being part of everybody else. I always got to know what the hell's going on someplace. Oh gosh, it's crazy. Now I'm going to put it as, sometimes it's just not safe for us to be someplace though. And if it's not safe, get the hell out. If people are being rude or something, leave. If you're going to a business and somebody's being rude, leave. Fuck, you don't need to feed them. They ain't got anything that's so god dang special in there. You go to a restaurant, they're rude, get up and leave. Do it angrily, you just calmly get up, walk out. I love it. And I do it. It only makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm certainly not perfect or anything. But life is good, and so why? I mean, all this othering of stuff, that last administration was just really huge. I mean, we'd started getting into different things and, like the military, and we'd been making great strides. And then the last 4 years has really set the whole process back quite a bit and brought it to the forefront. And it was just like that one dude that, 45, I think they called him, othering us. And so then we have a tendency to do it ourselves, I mean, it's crazy. There's so much to this. And I get confused about trying to talk about it because there is so much to it. I mean, it starts getting into narcissism and just, as a personality disorder and just, talking about how different and then just being so self-centered. And I mean, am I self-centered or am I narcissistic? I mean, heck, because I do this show, I could be construed as being somewhat narcissistic, because I like being I have no problem being in front of people. I act a little bit and oh my gosh. And then you start reading the disorder thing of narcissism and I'm going, wow, that covers me on about 5 out of 10 things. And so, oh shoot, and what it all comes down to is we need a strong trans community too. And so we don't want to other ourselves in this community. And if somebody's doing something that you don't like, heck, walk away. Don't, if you don't like my show, don't come to it, or anybody else's. And that's just, but it doesn't give us carte blanche on saying anything. I mean, it's unnecessary. We need to stick together. And so anyway, I'm going to turn my comments back on here so I can see what y'all are saying. And, oh gosh, I'm going to check in, see who is here. And hopefully I made some sense out of all of that. I don't know. But we can start a conversation now and see what happens. We're still talking about grandma and oh, I see what you were saying. Just like everyone else. I missed that second part before. Sorry. So do the walls go up internally, Regina, or from both sides? Sometimes from both sides, because the other side's othering too. But, I was really only thinking in terms of myself. And so a lot of times the walls that I build, particularly before I transitioned, were mostly internal. I was completely surrounded by a freaking wall that was miles thick and miles high. And it, don't touch me. You can't get to me. And I don't know what anybody else was thinking. I didn't want you to know anything about me. And so I think from my standpoint today, we're building these walls internally. I guess 45 and those guys, what they did was external, and we did talk about that a little bit. And so there you have it. Being trans is just one aspect of the individual. Couldn't agree more. And so yeah. I mean, we're just human beings. I care less. I am a trans woman, and I'm an individual as well, and I'm pretty unique too. Violin, hi, how are you doing? What's Casey saying? Right. I got what you're saying. You'll have to talk to me about your Discord channels you do. Sarah, hi. How you doing? You found it. Thanks, Louise. I actually went full stealth because I didn't want to be the poor different one. I didn't want my past to be my handicap. So yeah, and I think that's so much of why people go stealth is they don't want to be othered, and they don't want to, they just want to be out there, and so right on. I'm glad you said that. Oh, where was it? There it is. Simone, othering equals prejudice. Amen. But it just seems to be another word for, but othering, we can other ourselves as well, because as I was saying that one earlier, oh, I'm not trans enough, or you guys don't drink the way I did. And, oh my God, sitting around the rooms, you used to hear back in the day, you don't hear it so much anymore, but man, there'd be these humongous drunkalogs and whatnot. And just, it was like a pissing match. I'll be your mother, Simone. That's funny, Holly. That's funny. Good for you. Hey, look who's here. A retreat. Supercharged. So good to see you. Oh dear, I went too far. Here. So the awkward time when we're sitting here reading this. Well, thanks, Lou. I mean, I was called narcissistic when I first started transitioning because everything was always about me, because I was trying to learn to live differently. And oh my gosh, it was difficult. But mostly what I was saying, I was talking about myself, and one of my friends finally said, does it always have to be about you? Yeah. So yeah. Cool. I get that, Christy. Cool. So I don't think I talked very long on anything here. We are all others. And just exactly what does that mean, Louise? My wife just reminded me. Oh, what do we got here? Yes. So that's what I've been trying to say. What did I miss? Well, that's what I thought, Teresa. And I was surprised when I was looking it up, that almost everything was recovery related. And it was, there was some good stuff. And that was where I tried to find the stuff again this morning about narcissism. And there was, just being so lost in yourself, and it was someplace between the terminally unique and the narcissistic, and oh gosh, it's pretty cool stuff, really. But I just want to be able to maneuver everywhere I go and not really run into any problems, other than that some people are just jackasses and others aren't, and no matter who you are or those people that are jackasses are still going to be jackasses. And so that's kind of where I'm at on this. Thanks, Lou. I like it, but the trouble is I always run the risk of forgetting and what it's about. And it's not always about me. It's about you sometimes. And sometimes it's about Louise. And sometimes it's about Christy and each and every one of these people. Sometimes that's where we need to put our focus. What? Hey, see you later, my sweetie. I'm glad you stopped in today. Bye-bye. Combat the ignorance about and whatnot all equals hate, true. And what education, because so many people, and somebody was just telling me this the other day, is that I was the first trans woman that they had ever met, and still the only one that they know. And it was so cool that this gentleman pulled up. I went to the movies on Sunday afternoon, and we're standing outside. Me and a couple of girlfriends are standing out there talking when it's all over, and this truck pulls up with this handsome man in it, and he says, "Hey, you, Regina." And I look over, and it's my old friend Jed, that I used to work with back in the day when I was a fish biologist. And we had a pretty good conversation, and he was telling me that I was the first, and it was cool. We had a good talk, but it's all about that, those initial contacts with people that we have to put a, smile on and be kind and let them be a jackass if, you know what I mean. I think you all know what I mean. Louise got something good to say. When I was shocked that trans women would be racist, but I guess they were harassed by black men on the streets. We can't blame a whole race for the actions of a few, though. So true. I saw Heidi's dream. Hi, Heidi. How are you doing? And Teresa, pure hell, a true sensitive empath, figured it out. Yeah, I get that too. As I'm coming into my empathic states. Icky theology. I did take a course on ichthyology or two. I just passed the grade. Woohoo! So anyway, yeah, so it's a matter of getting out into the community, in my opinion. We're all human freaking beings. I mean, what's tough about that? I love the fact that I'm a human, and I love the fact that you're human too. And wait a second, is there any aliens here amongst us? Reptilians, blue avians, grays? I almost wore my little gray earrings of the space aliens, today, because they were green, because I didn't have very much green on. Like my shirt's green, but anyway, I digress. Oh, really? A hybrid? Ichthyology is a religion if you believe in fish. I believe in fish, and I believe that we should restore. What are you trying to say, Sarah? That I'm an alien? This totally gets into the topic of star seeds. What's star seeds? Is that a movie or a TV show? Oh. Cool. Hey, is Gracie here today? Kitsune. Where's that from? Here's the answer to the star seeds question. The star seeds are supposed to put on Earth to make sure the Earth will Oh. I saw that name someplace the other day. Maybe I was watching Gaia or something and it was on there. Oh dear. Oh, I would love to. Yeah. Do research. Totally fascinating. Well, my emblem is an ode to the ancient aliens, because my Mayan dude is on a rocket platform, and as a homage to the stela that depicts, that many people think is a Mayan dude in a spacecraft, a rocket ship. So because of the similarities between it and a space capsule. So that's kind of where my label came from. Oh no. Look at this one. Why do fish have scales? This is a groaner. This seems like something that Christy would have come up with. But instead, it's a Holly stuff. Hey, it's Darrigan. Hey, what's going on, Darrigan? Nice you could pop in today. Oh, okay. So were you roasting coffee with me this afternoon? I appreciate your definition there. Thanks, Simone. I kind of like to think I'm becoming aware. Okay, I'll give you a call when I'm ready to go up there. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Christy, I couldn't resist. I love you. I love you guys. Oh my. So we've reached the end of my knowledge about terminal uniqueness. I mean, I could talk a lot more, but and so I will. You know, I just always after 45 minutes, I reach kind of like a lull. And we've been struggling with my lull for 35 minutes out of 45. So not too bad. I've done well today. Oh my gosh. I don't know. You know, I can like start thinking I'm special, and it gets scary, you know. And it's that terminal uniqueness, because that's the stuff that almost kills us, because we can't see the forest because the trees are in the way. And you know, it was that way in AA. I wanted to get sober so bad, and there was all this talk about God, and I didn't want to have nothing to do with those people's God because it sounded so Christian to me. And then it just, you know, slowly evolved into where I could finally start believing a little bit. And I'm not big into a Christian type of thinking. And so oh, Christy. Now this is like othering here. My audience, this is like trying to guilt us into submission. So here's a serious comment. I tell people not to paint myself as special, but to explain to them that I have a story too, and that my story is just as important as everyone else's. Excellent. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, we all got our own stories. I love those things where everybody's got a story. And that's one reason why I like to talk to strangers so much, is because everybody does have a story. And you know, and their stories are valid, and regardless of when we transition or whatever, we each had our own suffering to go through and do it the way that we had to do it, because that was the path in front of us. And not all of our paths run parallel. You know, some have hills and some have dales, and oh gosh, some have big roadblocks in the way, and we've got to figure out a way of getting around that stuff and getting through stuff. And you know, it's what makes us each unique individuals without being terminally unique. It's when we start talking about not fitting in, to setting ourselves apart from the whole, is that there's a big problem. And so, yeah, our stories is a little different, but we're still part of the whole. You know, I mean, our culture here in the United States is part of my upbringing, regardless of how I fit into that today. And but it's still there. You know, it's like I say, the only thing that's Christian about me is the culture that I live in, is the Judeo-Christian culture that we all live in here in the United States. And you know, we're just part of it. And as long as nobody pushes us out, but we get a lot of trying to push us out to the outside of the center, and you know, and it's up to us as a community, to push back and work our way in there, to be part of the whole and to be important and to be counted, even though there's less than 2 million of us. And I think we decided a couple of weeks ago that there was 1.7 million of us, and you know, we deserve a place at the table, you know, and we're working on that. We're working on that. I got a new episode of Blacklist the other day. Laverne Cox was on it, and you know, we're making progress. More and more, we're seeing transgender people sprinkled, you know, through the media and in the movies and whatnot, and we're making progress. And so that's where I'm at. You know, and I hope we're all there together, you know, because it's not just about me. Amen. Amen. You know, or anything else that helps us to honestly look at ourselves, which is what we're talking about today. You know, I mean, it wouldn't hurt anybody, regardless of their stance on alcoholism, whether they're alcoholic or not alcoholic, to do the 12 steps. What's this? I like that, Casey. I like that. Casey, you're just such a miracle. Holly's talking to people at the airport. I do too. It's fun. I know if we start looking for the commonalities amongst all of us, as opposed to the differences, and focus on the commonalities, you know, like we all breathe air, we all walk upright, or for the most part. And, you know, I mean, those are just some of the commonalities there, but we all got them. What was it? Oh my gosh. And then Teresa's got another one. Oop, we already did that one. Well, I'm not doing a very good job of keeping up here. It's just... So, Heidi, amen. Thank you so much, Heidi. This young lady, how's it going on? Because we represent all of us each time that we go out there, and we need to remember that kindness is the way to go. Be kind, because you are representing the rest of this community. And how important, to do that. Keep that in mind. So, did I miss any questions? Is there any questions that are out there that remain to be answered? Where do we go from here? My dog's outside barking. I'll be right back. Hey, I got an idea. I'm going to entertain you. This is my new outro. Not that I'm leaving yet, but since you're all here right now, check this out. So what'd you think of that? That's my new outro. I just put that together this morning. Denise sent me the pictures finally a week or so ago, and I got around to it. So true, Casey. I like the way you think. He was just sitting there barking. He wasn't terrifying anybody. Intermission, yes. Oh, well, you want to write me a song to play on here? You give me a track to lay down and we'll do it, Darrigan. If you did it for that other coffee guy, you should be able to do it for me. Cool. So next time we'll have an original composition. An outro is the opposite of an intro. Well, did you guys like the pictures at all? It's like my hiking clan there. My dog, the snow. Let's all go to the drive-in. Let's all go to the drive-in trying to sing here. Oh. It's what was the name of it? Copacabana, I think was the name of it. Just a little jazzy. Yeah, I thought I like the feel of it, you know. Yeah, you know, you guys had requested that I start showing some pictures once in a while from my hikes, and well, there was a collection of pictures from there's more, but yes, that's correct, Casey. Yeah, she signed one of those, the one of Tank running in the snow. I love that picture. It's not a bad joke. Oh my God. I got where you were coming from. I thought it was kind of cute. Anyway, so I'm really just kind of rambling along here. And yeah, she's really good. And like maybe I can get her to give me some pictures from where she's at this week, because she is in Belize this week. And so I'm not hiking with anybody. I'm having to hike with Tank by myself. And so consequently, it's not as much fun. Yeah, my friend Denise hikes the Pacific Crest Trail by herself, and she's done it for like years and years, and has gone almost from the Canadian border to the southern border. And you know, she's hiked the Camino in Spain, and now she's laying on the beach in San Pedro, Ambergris Key, Belize. So that's fun. Oh, Louise, you got to Belize. One time when I was in Belize, Jerry, we had been on a sailing venture, and we got back to town, and I'm wandering around town, and somebody said, "Oh my God, you were so good last night." And I'm going, "What are you talking about?" Well, Jerry Jeff Walker vacationed down there on Ambergris Key a lot, and they had played the night before, and I guess I looked like somebody in the band, but it was so funny. Hey, whenever you're ready, Simone. I am. I'll do the hiking expedition. I don't have any camp gear anymore. I prefer to camp in the motel or one of those glamping things. One time, you know, we looked at buying a place in Belize and then building a glamping resort kind of thing. And man, they got some fancy freaking tents. I'd do one of those. I would do one of those. I'm getting so old that, you know, getting down on the ground to sleep in a sleeping bag, I might not ever get back up. Might not ever get back up. You're welcome. So, yeah, there's just so much going on. It is so definitely springtime here now. And, um, it still has cold days like the last couple of days, but it's pretty nice out today. And air mattress. Oh, cool. I got another friend down your way living in her RV outside Tucson someplace. Um, so that was talking to Heidi here in my head. Um, what are those animals? Is that turtles? Makeup 5-star, Louise. Yeah, I'm not. Back in the day, my first few years in the fish biology field, for about the first 8 years, I all summer long I camped for work, and it wasn't fancy. We slept on the ground. You worked all day and slept on the ground. Never go home. I couldn't even hardly. That first couple years, I couldn't hardly sleep in a soft bed. I hated it because it was so soft after sleeping on the ground with your self-inflating mattress. It's a half-inch thick. Oh, okay. I'm not sure how that simplifies it. I love it. I love it. Belize, Louise. Yeah. That's funny. Belize, Louise. I love that. Oops, wrong one. They move every time I get ready to click them, and then you get the wrong. Belize, Louise. How'd you camp in a year, Holly? Pretty big to be moving around. Well, you make a resort in Belize, Louise, and I'll come regardless of what you call it. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, is there anything you guys want to have a topic on next week? Or we've got a special guest coming on the 7th of April, and that'll be fun. And anybody got anything they want to hear me talk about? I might even do research if I don't think I know enough to. I did a little bit of research on this, and I still kind of came up short. Oh, it's difficult sometimes to do this for an hour and a half. And, when mostly, after you get started talking about something, you just start repeating yourself over and over, unless well, even professors, when they're lecturing, seems to me they're talking the same thing over and over and over. And so anyway, any ideas? I'm always coming up short. Do research on star seeds and you will be totally fascinated. Maybe we want to do a show on it. Okay, I'll tell you what, I might. And I'm going to get my pad of paper out here and write star seeds down. Awakening, you mean in a what context do you mean that, Teresa? Okay, well, it seems kind of like that would go right along with the star seeds. Oh, you guys are right. No, these ones that are talking about spirituality, doing that. I could do that. I would find that interesting. And what's this one? I have not seen that, Louise. I have not. That sounds kind of interesting, though. So it could also be what is not the same, you two, Simone and Teresa. So, oh my stars. Pacific yurts in Oregon. Yeah, they were like what we were looking at on taking to Belize with us to live in there for glamping in Belize out in my what did I have? 3 acres or something like that. I had a couple, 2-3 acres down there in Belize for a little while. A little off topic for here, Christy. Although yurts is, here we are talking about them. They're interesting. There was a yurt maker up in Missoula or up north of Missoula, Montana. We went up and visited them at their factory and checked out some of their yurts too. They weren't quite as fancy as the Pacific yurts down there in Oregon, but considerably cheaper too, you know. But by the time you get it fixed up to make a permanent residence of them, they're not necessarily inexpensive. Take YouTube on the road, Regina. You know, I thought about doing that, and I actually had myself standing up on here on my phone earlier today. See if I can do this and see what happens. But you have to be careful because you start getting feedback. So this will be really interesting now, you hear? Okay, are you guys ready? Look at that. And that's like off my phone. Whoops. There. So there we are. We're standing up. This is what it really is like to be on a phone. And so we're just trying stuff, seeing how it works. It looks kind of like it's okay, but not the same quality of picture for sure. And hopefully you can hear me on this mic. So I'm going to switch back now and we'll talk. See you in a minute. So how was that? Echo, echo. Huh, interesting. So I'm glad we didn't do that for long then. So, you know, if I wasn't standing right next to, if I was out on the street, or do something, we could maybe do it. Yeah. I had tried to mute it and it just wasn't enough. So I don't know. It's best not to do it when you're standing right next. I could have put my hearing aid, not my hearing aids, but headphones in too. So anyway, we won't do that again because of the echo. I don't think I'm very talented at this, but I'm learning. So it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so it appears as though I've ran out of things to keep you all entertained or to keep me entertained. Life is good. You know, the bottom line to everything is I don't have I really need to have a hardwired internet connection. And down where my coffee roastery is, I don't. It's all, almost 100 yards away. 100 yards is probably further than it is, but 50 yards through a bunch of buildings. It's not always good internet. Hey, thanks, Teresa. That would be nice. I mean, maybe I could do it with just my phone. I don't know. Maybe I could make a video, because I can do that now, is I can make a video and come here and share it. And we roast a load of coffee for you. Because the whole thing would be, you know, you could do a tour of my facility in about 2 seconds. And we could roast a load of coffee, call it good. Because it's noisy and it echoes in there so bad that what I might have to do, Eva just is here. Hi, Eva. And yeah, lay a soundtrack down other than what is done there at the roastery, because it's just, you know, it's a concrete building. Everything is concrete and it echoes. That building was built without any kind of thought towards acoustics. I mean, it's hard for me to even hear in there. So anyway. So good to see Eva here. And darn. Well, now I'll stick around, because she can't just come and then, oh, Eva's here, let's go. So, I love it when you talk about coffee being your jet fuel. Oh, Holly. Oh my God. Can you believe this? The lens grinder doing his work. He made a spectacle of himself. I am in shock. In shock. Where did that come from? Oh, Christy, what are you going to do? There's going to be a humor competition. Everyone have a beautiful week. Here we go. I have to get back. I won't be able to hear you with the equipment. Loves and hugs, and always be true. You. Hey, take care, Heidi. Hope to see you this weekend at the other deal. That's the other thing I can talk about. You know, I started a gender support group here and locally, and some people have expressed interest in coming in. So, you know, we've kind of opened it up. It's pretty small. It's all on Zoom. If anybody's interested, drop me a line on Messenger. So I don't know how big. I'm the moderator. I'm the leader of it, and so we don't need coffee roaster jokes. And so, let me know. Just read it, just trying to help some folks out. And so that's, hey, bye-bye, Louise. Thanks for being here today. So everybody seems to be departing, and I should probably depart too. But it's so hard to say so long and see y'all later. But there comes that time. Everybody's saying goodbye, Louise, here. That's because we love Louise. Bye-bye, Louise. Be good out there. Well, thanks, Holly. It's good to hear that. I've been thinking, oh, this wasn't that good a show. But anyway, it is what it is. And I think we're just going to end it. I love you guys. We're going to do our new outro today and give you all a chance to say goodbye and whatnot. I've enjoyed doing today's show, and let's do another little deep breathing thing here, and just take a moment to think about all the things that we each have in our lives, a little moment of gratitude, and give us this opportunity to come together on Wednesday afternoons and become a community of kind and loving humans that habitate on this planet. Love all you guys. Big hugs to you all. Thank you for coming. And we'll see you next week, hopefully. And in the meantime, wear your mask, stay safe, stay at home when you can. We've almost got this thing whipped. Get your vaccination. And thank you so much, Simone. Bye-bye, you guys. And with this, let me start this outro. Woohoo! I love this.